You a tita, you a tito, you on the West Coast, you on the East Coast, doesn't matter, you are here with us. You got Jada.
I'm Kai.
And I'm Camille.
And we're calling all Boss Babaes and Creative Kabayan.
It is time for your favorite break, Tita Break.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here in our corner of the internet. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, subscribe, all the things. Make a comment, share with a friend, loved one, kaibigan, kababayan, tita, tito, ate, kuya, all the words. Tatay, nanay, lola, lolo. I'm just showing off.
Look at her speaking Tagalog.
Random fact.
Fluent.
Right.
Can we say fluent?
I know, hello. Filipino phrase of the word, or Filipino phrase of the week is working. Even though my English is not right now. Grammar's off.
English when our Tagalog is so good.
Before we get into the Filipino phrase,
Yes.
did you guys know what Balikbayan actually stands for?
Stands for something?
It's one of those,
I was like,
it's a word. Yeah, to me, it's a box that you send home, but it's broken down. Balik, so back.
Oh.
Bayan, which is
Homeland,
I think
like
homeland.
back home. Yeah.
I said what?
A back home box.
I was today years old.
old.
Literally, I was like, me Balikbayan box just meant box, like pasalubong sent home, but I didn't realize it was broken down.
I thought you were going to say that it's an acronym.
Oh,
Which
that would have been cool.
really?
Like Merites, like that would have been,
yeah, like that's a lot. But no,
It's like
knew it was
equivalent
back
to
home
when
box.
I learned about sopas.
Oh, okay. Well, I might be
Sopa
today's-
soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call it that because to make it, it's sopas. Like, I'm not joking.
Excuse me?
Like,
Filipinos
Like
would.
so
I'm
fast?
not joking.
Filipinos
that
would.
wasn't. That
They
wasn't,
would make
yes.
that term.
Like so fast.
Yes.
So fast.
I
so
wasn't.
hot,
That wasn't
so
me
good.
being like witty kitty. Like that's for real. Why
That's
they call
actually
it that?
jokes, and yes, I was today years old to find that out.
Yes.
How many of y'all just found out? Because we're right beside you.
So fast.
All right, so Filipino phrase of the day, of the week. Who wants to take it away?
I got this one today.
Go
okay.
ahead.
So
All you.
today it is tuloy lang ang buhay. Okay. So tuloy lang ang buhay.
Tuloy lang ang buhay.
Which is a great one because
that one's good,
It
actually.
means life goes on.
Tuloy lang ang bahay. Your house, not your house.
Your house goes on.
When you sell it with working. Hey! Smooth transition, Jada.
That was great.
I'm feeling good. The coffee is full. All right, tuloy lang ang buhay. Not bahay. Buhay. All right.
Tuloy lang ang buhay.
Yes,
And
life
ain't
goes
that
on.
that's the truth.
That
life,
is-
life
goes
goes on.
Life is short.
I think we also need that as a daily reminder.
Trust
It's
me.
actually one of
Tuloy.
my life quotes. So I'm going to
No.
start saying
Yeah.
it in Tagalog.
Oh, there you go.
It's amazing.
You
This
might
too
as
shall
well.
pass. Tuloy lang ang buhay.
That one's
Tuloy lang
good.
ang buhay.
Isn't that good?
Tuloy
good
lang
one.
ang buhay.
It's giving. Let's get it tatted.
So I'm going to be one of those people like in the movies where it's like, in my language, they say, there's a saying, tuloy lang ang buhay.
Oh my God,
which
I was
means
drinking.
life
Back
goes
home.
on. My mother always
There's a
used to say to me, tuloy lang ang buhay.
By back
Which
home, I mean
translated
at
in
the
English
studio
to-
on Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
You know what I'm talking about though, right? Like,
yeah.
you know, when I was growing up,
In my native tongue.
I don't know why this is
It's very refined.
No, but I knew exactly what you were saying when you said it. That was funny.
That literally went down.
Okay, I gotta ask before we cut into first segment. Is
Yeah.
anyone watching Black Mirror or Love on the Spectrum?
No.
Oh my gosh,
Black
guys.
Mirror, I've been saving. I know you're very
I didn't know there was a new season out, but then I saw like a little.
I've binged all 7 episodes.
It's why we didn't hear from her.
Oh my
The 7th
gosh.
episode is part 2, so I doubled back the 2 seasons to the first episode before you watch
What?
the second episode. Or sorry, not the, it's the 7th episode, but it's part 2 from another Black Mirror.
Like another season?
Yes.
Which season? Don't tell me.
I think it's 2 seasons ago. Oh my god, it's so good.
That
For anyone that loves
serious?
Black Mirror, and it came out April 10th, and I was ready to binge it, but the work was just too busy, so I saved it for the
Isn't
weekend.
Issa Rae on it?
Yes. It's so
I
good.
love
Issa
her.
Rae,
I
don't
Tracy
know
Ellis
if I'm ready
Ross,
for that.
Rashida Jones.
Okay.
The love interest from Bridesmaids. Don't know his name. I'm sorry.
Chris
but you are
O'Dowd?
great. Is it him? I think it's
cop?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
him. He's on it. Who
Sell
else
it
is
without
there?
selling it, you know?
Oh man, it's so good. And then it's just all the
no.
concepts that we're dealing with and how fast AI is accelerating and traditional or old ways of doing things versus the new. It's great. It's really good. So anyways, highly recommend.
Wow. They had Salma
I need
Hayek
to,
in the last season.
Oh,
so like
yes.
it seems like it's
She-
getting pretty crazy.
Selma,
Yes.
who doesn't age.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love her.
Give us your secrets. And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Tita Salita. I was on the line and searching the intranet for some stories, and I came across a headline that was pretty interesting, and I think we could all relate
Yes.
somehow. So women over 40 are having having more babies than teen moms, and this is first time ever. So the first time ever in U.S., women over 40 are having more babies than teenagers. Teen birth rates have plummeted by 73% since 1990, while births among women aged 40 plus have jumped 193%.
Damn.
amazing.
Wow.
Big
Just wow.
up, yes.
In 2023, women over 40 accounted for 4.1% of all births, just edging out teens at 4%. So I thought that was pretty cool. All things considered, like
I think it's just phenomenal because I think we grew up
yeah,
under the premise, oh, you need to do things by a certain age. All of us.
and then we say, wait, hold
I will
on.
prove you wrong today.
Also, like if you think about it culturally, like guys, we literally had a show called Teen Mom.
Yeah.
Like some of those
Yes.
girls are still booking deals or out in the public eye and.
We gonna show you.
Right? So I think that's pretty awesome. So do you guys think, like, growing up, was there a right age to have kids, and have your beliefs changed since then?
So I
first.
definitely thought there was a
Juicy.
right age. I think just being a type A person who likes to plan ahead.
You are type A.
Yeah, who would
What?
have thought? I feel like there was an age that I had in mind, and it's so funny because like once I got to that age, it's like what? Like,
Once I was like,
Who
one
has
or,
time?
1 or
Right?
2 years out, I was like, hold on, wait,
Yeah.
this is approaching pretty quick.
it just didn't make sense.
And I have
like,
no man.
And I had and I had friends who like had kids throughout like different phases in their life, and
sure.
all the younger ones, I'm just like, oh okay. But I look back now and I'm like, oh man, like when their kids are like 40, they're still gonna be like young and hot. Like,
Bro, I know.
You know,
I
being
think
able
that
to
too.
enjoy
I
it.
definitely have had that thought before.
yeah, but it's changed. Like I think 40s, late 30s, early 40s. I am late 30s, so like early 40s, like somewhere around here.
Yeah.
I think is appropriate, just based on where I'm at in life, like
Right.
where
Yeah.
me personally I'm at.
For
So,
sure. For sure.
I
Why?
don't think I've personally ever felt the pressure where I was like, oh my God, I need to have kids. I need to have kids. I also think that because a lot of my peers at the time were having kids at a younger age, respectfully, I did see like, it is a bit of a challenge. So I don't know if it necessarily scared me or I was just like, maybe that's not for me right now.
Yeah.
So I was never like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. But I also know that I was trying to do the math with my mom the other day where I was like, when you were my age, how old were we?
Wait, say that again?
So when she was my age now or my sister's
yeah,
age, like how old? Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Facts.
she's like, isn't that crazy to think about? Because back then
100%.
they started like young, right? I am so sorry.
Yeah, I said, girl, put that on silent.
I did put it on silent. I apologize. But yeah, so no, I personally didn't feel the pressure. But
how old were your parents when they had you? My mom was 23.
well,
I
my
didn't know that. Mine were 28, or my mom was 28.
pause
27,
on that
28.
question, she did tell me, and it was a lot of numbers to the point where my dad's like, you guys need to calculate. Because she couldn't understand what I was asking, because I was like, how old were you when you had my sister? Because my sister was, I don't want to put her age on blast, but
Forever young.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought when I was younger, there was like, okay, baby by 30. Like I felt like that was the general expectation. Obviously, my belief has changed. And to hear something like this is very
Comforting?
comforting. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It feels supportive. It's comforting because I do want to have babies one day, but with the right man. And I've just come to terms, probably over the last like 2 years where it's like, if I can't find a fit father or man to be the father of my children, like, I'm also okay with being that aunt, you know? I feel like there's that conversation and not feel shameful about it. I've also seen like a lot of experiences where, you know, to me, it's like ultimately the children are the ones that suffer when mom and dad can't get it right sometimes, you know? Like, and I don't want to do that to my child. This again, my personal opinion, but if I'm gonna have a baby, like me and this man have to be on the same page, we have the same values, and like we are both in it to win it, to raise these humans to be the best that they can, if not their better selves. So if I can't find that, I'm not taking the risk. Who knows? I don't know. It could also change. I could also hit 40 and be like, yo, I want a kid and adopt.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? So
do it on my own.
I'm open to it, but at least I definitely feel less pressure.
Yes,
I think before I felt the heat before. Like by 27, I was like, uh-oh.
Imagine a
getting scary.
13-year difference being scared, and now the 40 is like,
40 is like the new 30 now, based off this, right?
I mean, I've been saying that.
It's a very interesting conversation because it's just like, what do you think was the difference? Like, what changed, right? What do
I
you
also
think about it?
that a lot of our generation, like, we are very adamant on taking better care of ourselves, right?
Yep.
And, you know, our childhood, we were outside. We were very active. We weren't on our screens. And I think being in the world, especially after COVID, and being able to take out that time for ourselves, I think a lot of us are just more intentional with, let me make better choices.
Yeah.
Daily
Also,
deposits.
I think from like a immigrant child perspective, our parents came here. There's like the sense of survival mode, like, you know, they did what they had to do to give us the opportunity. So now I don't have to rush to have a baby. I prioritize my career more, which I find valuable and is still important. But I think that's common as well. Like there's a lot of entrepreneurs in our generation.
Yep.
So yeah, it could also be a shift of priorities.
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned being the fun aunt, though. I think that doesn't get enough shine as it should.
You know, so Bastos when people are like, "Do you have kids?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Oh," it's like,
And like,
what am I? Chopped liver? Like,
literally,
what the hell?
I'm important too.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think Filipino families view women having kids later in, like, how do you think Filipinos view that, having kids later in life? Do you think it's supported, not supported?
Camille?
Where do we start based off these reactions?
Let's ask.
As a married woman,
Yo, I love when Cam starts as a fill in whatever we need and then go. Oh my gosh.
as a married
Yes.
woman,
As
so
I
there's
sip my tea.
there's two different sides to this. There's my family, and then there's other Filipinos.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Talk about it.
Right? My family is fine with the way that I live my life. They're fine with my pace. Nobody's rushing me.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Everything is happening and unfolding as it's supposed to. Other Filipinos are not on the same page.
I know some people feel the heat.
My
for
mom
sure.
just told me the other day that one of her friends, who's probably going to watch this, was like, well, Camille needs to have kids already. What's going on?
Oh, you can see yourself out.
Yeah, right? Like,
Get out.
like,
No, just kidding.
love
Thank you
this
for your
lady,
opinion that I
but,
did
like,
not
ask.
also relax.
But those kind of comments, yeah, it's like, do you realize?
You know what I mean?
You know how,
And you
how that
also
could land
don't
with
know
somebody?
what people are going
Listen,
through.
I don't even
Facts.
want to
Say it
get
again.
into that, but it's true. Like, you know how many fertility issues are coming up and are so common for, especially for people in our
Thank
age
you.
group and
it's,
older.
for
and
sure.
it's not for public conversation.
No.
Yeah.
And like, what if that person doesn't know? Or like, there's just so many layers that, you know, it's just,
Say
You're
it into
entitled
the
to your
mic.
opinion.
Into the mic. Into the
you're
mic.
entitled to your opinion. But you know, I think there's just a way to approach things, and I just don't think shaming people is the way to go. But I also I always
part.
appreciate an honest conversation. Don't get me wrong, but like I just
sure.
think that shaming people is never the
Never.
right thing to do.
Well,
Honestly.
I mean, that also ties in with like marriage and like,
Yep.
I feel like whatever tier you're in, there's always this undertone of, okay, so what's next for you?
Yeah.
What's next?
That's-
What do you
especially as
got
a-
going on?
Can we say that? Yeah, as a woman.
Yeah,
Like, because a man
definitely.
can grow old and be a bachelor for their life. You know what I mean? Like, versus women, it's like we got expiry dates
I
based
think-
off norms,
exactly.
right? Like, so not fair.
I think it's
Yes.
because of the fertility. I think a lot of people think that like they're not so used to
That's your worth.
advanced
That's it.
age maternity.
Yeah.
They're used to like early 20s and stuff like that. And even maybe early 30s, but late 30s and early 40s, I think is kind of like a newer territory
Yeah.
for people. So I feel like, because like men can have children at any point in time.
Literally.
And it's only being proven now that older women can have children. Like that's a newer concept. So I think that's why people use the word expiry date. Like
There was a celebrity, remember she like 55 and she got pregnant.
And it was
who
like,
was it?
And it was like this big
forget.
Loch Ness monster situation where
It was
everyone was
a whole
like
thing.
shocked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Janet Jackson, her too. Anyhow.
a lot of people, because it wasn't as common back then.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I know men definitely have their own things they have pressures with,
Of course. Naturally.
but yeah, I think giving birth is a huge one for us ladies.
Yes, definitely.
So shout out the over 40 groups. Sorry, not even over 40, over 27, because that was the age bracket.
Yes. Don't feel the pressure. You're good, girl, wherever you're at.
Take your time.
All right. That was great. Let's take a break. We're going to take a beat and we'll be right back after that.
So what I really want to know is what are the interest rates saying? Oh,
When is the last time
who
you
should
got
I
it? Is
ask?
there...
Oh, of course.
What are you looking at me
I
for?
know, my bad. Hashtag work
But
with
no,
me.
it's been a while since the last update, no?
yeah, we
Like,
actually just had one today.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. we
So
did.
like perfect time to talk about it.
Of course, she knows today's updates,
Hit
guys.
us with the
She has
stats.
worked with Camille.
So we didn't have a decrease or an increase. The rate is the same, 2.75.
the update is...
Is that things are status quo.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is because, as you know, there's been this trade war, tariffs this,
my
tariffs
gosh.
that. It's everywhere to the point.
The T word.
Yeah, we're at a point where the Bank of Canada is like, we don't even really know what's going to happen next. Things are so
like holding
different
their
from
breath.
exactly. Things are so different from like 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we're not comfortable making a decision. And believe it or not, the governor, Bank of Canada governor, Tiff Macklem, he said these words exactly. That means being less forward-looking than usual until the situation is clearer. So that's where we're
Wow.
at. That's why they kept things the same, because they're like, we don't have enough information to make a decision right now.
I was going to ask you next. I was like, so are there predictions? But I mean, I guess that answers it.
Right? Because who knows what Trump is going to say next?
What a weird time, guys. Like, it's...
The times.
Everybody's on edge.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what's actually going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's
What
been-
are the two scenarios?
Yeah.
Like, what are the, like, it could go this way or it
Yeah,
could go
yeah,
that
yeah.
way? Like,
Great question.
Well, they can go
I
up
don't
or
know.
down, right? So we
Yes,
just
but-
came off of having very high interest rates. We've
Mm-hmm.
had, so the first interest rate cut in a long time was June of last year. That was the first one.
Mm. Wow,
Okay.
time flies.
And then we've had 7 rate cuts since then. 7 rate cuts. So what we were feeling back then was everything was too expensive. People were not qualifying for loans because the cost of borrowing was too high.
Yeah.
The bank's rate was 5%. You were getting loans at mortgages at like 6.5. So I've heard as high as 10. Like that's
Oh, wow.
the range, depending if you're going with private, whatever,
Gotcha,
right?
okay.
B lender.
Yeah.
What we're seeing now, more buyers are qualifying for a loan because the rate is low. The cost of borrowing is lower. Because it's 2.75% versus 5% last year, right? So more people are qualifying for loans. Buyers now qualify for mortgages. Buyers, what we're seeing right now, are in control of the market for the most
Yeah.
part. We're seeing a lot of homes that are being
There you go,
listed,
opportunity.
right?
Yeah.
And the prices are like people are selling below ask. They're buying below ask
Right.
because they don't have a choice, because the buyers qualify for what they qualify
Yeah.
for, and after these past few years they're being very discerning about
Yeah.
their carrying costs month to month.
I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
I'm scared, but like, okay, so let's say we lock in the loan. You get good rates now. Let's say the tariffs like hits the fan. Will that affect what you locked in at that moment, or no? So now's the time then.
Yes,
All
exactly.
right.
So let's just say you locked in for a 3.5% mortgage,
Yeah.
right? Depending on it depends on your loan term.
Gotcha.
Right?
Oh, yes,
So let's say
okay.
like you signed up for 5 years, you locked
Yeah.
in for 5 years, so that's your rate for 5 years.
Got it. Okay.
After that 5 years, we got to see what the economic
then we'll
situation
see.
is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some people prefer, 1 year, 2 year. no two financial situations are alike. It really
Nothing's
depends.
like better than the other. It would just depend on
what works for you.
Yeah,
so you
got
talk
it.
to your mortgage person about that. But I know for the most part, a lot of people are locking in for that 5 year,
Got it.
especially considering what's happened these last few years. There's just been so much uncertainty. People just want to know that they're safe and they
For
want to
sure.
know what they're going to pay for the
Yep.
foreseseeable future.
Who doesn't
especially
like
when
a
it comes
safety
to their
net?
house. Exactly.
Who doesn't like a safety
right?
net?
So I was actually just talking to a mortgage professional yesterday, and that's what she was saying. She's like, I'm locking everyone in at 5 years if
Yeah.
it makes sense for them, because that's the lowest rate right now.
Yeah.
And that's where, why wouldn't you want the most savings?
Why not?
You
Right?
can sleep at night.
Exactly, exactly. But again, doesn't apply to everybody. See what works best for you.
Nice. Okay, so now that we know this, spring is here. If you're listening and you can't see me, I just did air quotes. Here. 'Cause
We're in Toronto, by the way.
spring is still making up their mind about staying or not. So then a lot of people, I'm assuming, are getting ready to sell or looking. So like, how does one get their house ready for spring?
Yeah.
house
It's a great
right,
question.
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
you with the questions
Thank
today.
you.
Who am I? What's in this coffee?
I know, right? So I have tips for whether you're selling your house or just looking to, prepare your home for like that summer season or that warmer
Yes.
season where you're probably having people over, right? Your friends are thawed out and ready to come visit.
Yep.
So the first thing is for me anyway, because I love to take care of my backyard and my grass.
Yeah, you do.
Is I
She got a
turn.
nice backyard.
It's really good.
Where we're crashing this summer.
It's really good. I turn my water back on.
Oh,
So
nice.
I turn my hose off
That's
in
a
the
good
winter,
sign.
right?
If the fountain's on, it's nice
Exactly.
outside.
I turn on all my hoses. I have the water shut off in my basement, so I just turn
there
that
you
back
go.
on.
Yep.
And I just make sure that there's no leakage or anything weird that may have happened in the winter because anything's
Hopefully
possible in the
not.
winter, right? When it's hiding in the snow and in the ice. So that's the first thing that I do. And I recommend everyone does that, just because if there's a leak, you want to tackle that now. You don't want to be sitting through a repair or a renovation during
When
the
your
summer.
grass needs the water.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the next thing I do is I inspect and clean my gutters.
Oh.
Yeah. I start on
Can't
the
say I've
outside.
ever done that.
I start on the outside. I start on the outside before I go in
then you work
because
in.
exactly. And the gutters, like, because I have pine trees in my backyard,
Oh,
so I need to make sure that those
yeah,
needles are
yeah.
collected,
Oh.
right? So that when you come
They
to my
get
house and you bring,
everywhere.
yeah, they're no
They're
joke.
literally everywhere.
And like when you rake them, like it requires a lot of arm power.
I feel like it all just sprays. That's really kind
well, not when you're a pro. Not when
Okay,
you're a
so
pro.
we got,
I was
we
like-
got techniques. Follow her on
I was like,
Instagram. Maybe
I
she'll show
only
you
get
there.
the leaves. I never get the vines.
So funny. And I have pine cones, and it's really cool.
Nice.
Then I power wash everything, so I have like a little pressure washer.
cool.
So like just the side of my house, if there's
Yeah.
like dirt or whatever, and like my little pavers
You get
in my
into it.
driveway. Yeah, like I need to make
Nice.
sure it looks good because like the salt.
Hey, that's your
It's
home,
everywhere.
man. Like, where else?
Would you say
right?
this is a part of your like relaxing time?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can't relax if my house looks like it's winter still. Like if there's
On
salt
the
stains
outside.
on things. Yeah, like that would
no,
drive me
for
crazy
sure,
if I'm
for
walking
sure.
up to my door and I see like salt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
May.
about. Yeah, like this is ridiculous. The sun is out. It's just it doesn't make sense to me.
Is it out though? No.
I know. The sun was out.
Yeah.
And I of course like check my lighting. My husband's an electrician, so that's kind of his
Perfect.
domain. He
Hi.
just makes sure that everything is working. Right? There's no leaks.
Come
or,
through, tag
you
team.
know.
Right.
Exactly. And he's the handy one. So if there's any repairs, I just want to
Love
be
it.
clear. I'm not the one fixing these things. It's Justin.
There you
He's
go.
the
Shout out
pro.
Justin.
Yeah, he's the real pro. And then I prepare my garden, or my lawn, I should say.
That you
like
usually
the
show us
garden.
videos on what you're
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm a succulent gal.
Yeah.
That's my lane.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I just do grass
Aesthetically, it's
mostly.
nice.
Are
Yeah.
you a mulch?
There you go, hey.
Are you a mulch girly?
No, absolutely not. I deal with soil. Mulch is only for my plant bed. Little
Oh,
plant
okay.
bed there that I made, the garden box.
Cute.
Yeah.
For the hostas? Is it the hostas?
Yep. I have hostas. I have
We
lilies.
love a hostas
Yeah.
because they just come back.
And that's why perennials.
Sorry, is that a
and like,
plant? What is it?
yeah, it's a plant.
Sorry, okay.
You'll see one when you get to my
I
house, but
have to know what it is. I'm trying to find
to
it.
know.
So a hosta, like obviously when it gets cold, they
It says hasta la vista.
yeah they
baby.
pretty much take a nap, and then as soon as it gets hot, they just come back to life.
Gotcha.
You don't.
Okay,
It's
cool.
they're very low maintenance. So.
Nice.
absolutely.
And they look beautiful.
The last two things I do outside is I get Justin to check the roof, make sure that there's been no like
smart.
damage,
Yeah.
you know, especially after like we had some deep freezes.
It's a crazy winter too, right? Yeah, exactly.
You never know
With
what's
all the
going
ice
on
and
up
Do you
there.
get on the roof with them?
I absolutely do not
Okay.
get on the roof with
I was
them.
gonna say,
Just
I'm
a side
guessing
question.
no.
No.
Yeah.
So the roof, yes,
The roof.
and
And my favorite thing to do is to open the windows.
Oh, I do love that. I appreciate being able to just open the window, get some fresh air.
Yes.
Oh,
a
best.
bug or two.
And the
No
house just
ipis.
breathing.
I hate ipis.
So many
Kill it.
lessons for Tagalog today.
Yeah, right? That's really good.
That's good.
Really good stuff.
Actually, since we're talking about spring, we're going to end on a light note in terms
Yes.
of what's happening. So on Saturday, April 19th, for anyone out there who loves R&B, because you know as Filipinos, we love our R&B. The party is called I Love R&B. It's going to be at Rebel, and Lloyd is going to be the special guest. So they usually have a special guest for each one. They did Mario one year. This year it's going to be Lloyd. Just, prepare going to Polson because driving to Rebel is
Like,
so annoying. Yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
Lloyd is so
Get it, shorty,
underrated.
Wow.
shorty. But the one that I'm not going to be going to that one, but the one I will be going to is that Slow Jams party. That's going to be at Axel. That's not until May 18th, but the dress code is pajamas. Yeah, so it's like slumber party-esque.
I am not leaving my
Cam's
house
not
in
going.
PJs. No.
I'm super excited to go.
Honestly,
I have Hello Kitty pajamas I really want to wear.
Very cute. Very
outside.
Cute. Very cute.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a podcast on the way here, and we were talking about we're at an age where like, do we want to leave the house?
There's a lot of things to consider before leaving the house at our age. I definitely agree with that. I haven't
yes.
gone out. I haven't gone out in a long time, but this party, I'm gonna go to. So
You should, for both of us.
yeah. All right, that's great. We'll take a break and we'll be right back after this.
And we are back with Am I Bastos?
Am I Bastos?
Am I Bastos?
I love this
I
segment,
love
guys.
this thing. Jada has a very juicy story for
All
us.
right, so let's see who wrote in.
Oh, this is our first write-in.
Hello, shout out to you.
Thank
Don't
you
worry,
so
we're gonna
much.
keep
We
anonymous?
appreciate you.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
All right. Am I Bastos for not wanting to repost my friend's business content because I'm low-key turned off by her right now?
Oh.
Let's go. 3, 2,
I feel like as entrepreneurs, we're all in it.
Fired up.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, let's go.
I, a 30s-year-old female, I could have said that better, but you know what I mean, have a personal thing with social media. I don't ask people to repost my content. If they want to, they will. I want support to be real, not something I have to beg for. That's just how I move. I feel like if someone genuinely supports what I do, they'll share it on their own. I prefer authentic engagement over anything that feels forced or transactional. Now, my friend has been going through some personal stuff lately, and it's been affecting how I see her. Her energy has been draining, and to be honest, I'm kind of over it. I even wrote out a letter recently because there's been so much on my chest. I'm just not in the mood to entertain or cater to her right now. On top of that, she recently did something that really offended me, and she hasn't apologized for it. That's been sitting with me and definitely adds to the resentment I'm feeling. It's not just about the post, there's a deeper emotional disconnect happening. That said, she recently started a business and asked me to post a video promoting it. The thing is, I really don't want to. I'm not feeling her like that right now. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about supporting a friend, but I've noticed she constantly asks people to repost her stuff, and it feels more like a strategy than a connection. It kind of gives me the ick. But I posted it anyways, even though I was rolling my eyes the whole time and felt annoyed AF. Now I'm sitting here like, why did I even do that? I'm mad I gave in, and I still don't want to be bothered. I felt annoyed, reluctant, and now I'm wondering, am I Bastos for feeling this way? I did the thing she asked for, but I'm also questioning whether I'm being petty or unsupportive for not wanting to be involved like that. Am I Bastos for not wanting to support her right now and being irritated that she even asked?
Okay.
I have
Ladies.
so much to say.
I just need to ask, is someone writing about me? Because
Hey!
I recently, as you know, started a business with Anita. Okay? And I have been sending to all my group chats, hey, in case you didn't see it, because I wanted to hit everyone's algorithm.
I low-key was like, is this about me?
Like this is really like
relatable.
really relatable.
Like we just
relatable.
said, there's so many entrepreneurs in our generation. I think it's a small thing, but I think to your point, it's very common. I'm sure all of us have run into this.
So who goes first?
Yeah.
After you.
Also, I don't mind reposting your stuff. You know that.
Yeah, no, I know. And listen, like I also know like it's gonna happen on your own time and whatever else. I'm just trying to put it on everyone's radar, like
Right,
you know.
of
And I only
course.
send it to like 6 people. Like, the 6 people that I know are gonna be like, yeah, you go,
yeah, girl,
right?
we got you. Yeah.
And then that, like, whatever. And then based on who likes it, I'll send it to them too. But
Yes.
wow.
Okay, for me personally, I don't think you're Bastos for feeling that way. Only because, and this is not selfishly, because if anybody knows, I actually don't even, my art page is very separate from my Tita Salita. Why? That is my personal choice.
Yeah.
Because some of my art clients, I want to keep, you know, my art is visual. This is verbal. So I like to keep the separation, and that is a
Gotcha.
personal
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
And I think with all social media, it is a personal choice. Everything
Yes,
is a
everyone's
personal
entitled
choice.
to.
When you show up for it, how
For
you
sure.
show up for it,
For sure.
when you want to be online,
Yep.
when you want to respond to things, when you want to comment on things.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody should be held accountable
Yes.
for not being in the space to do that,
Yeah. For sure.
right? If somebody takes it the wrong way, can a conversation be there? Absolutely.
Yes.
Right? Unless it's like a work dynamic, then yeah, I don't
Maybe
think
it could add.
think she's Bastos. I think if she's currently irritated, then the sincerity of wanting to support isn't there. So that's why it feels like that. It feels like you're not doing it because you want to. You're doing it because they expect it.
Yes.
And doing anything out of expectation never feels good. And that's across the board outside of social media.
For sure.
Facts. Yeah.
So, you go. And I really did think it was about me too.
Right? I'm like, who wrote in about me on my show?
I was
on
like,
my
is it
show.
because I didn't
Who
repost
had the
that thing?
audacity?
I know. I was like, is
dead.
it because I didn't repost those 5 things?
So funny. Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
I will say, you know, as someone who is very intentional about what they post and share,
Yeah.
I
Especially as an entrepreneur,
you know what I mean?
right? Like
And
it's a brand.
my algorithm and my business is so hyper specific. I can't just post anything to the point where, as you guys know, I don't even repost all of our stuff.
Yeah, no,
because
for
if
sure.
it's irrelevant to my brand, I can't post it.
No, I think that applies to all of us.
Exactly.
Even that, yeah.
Exactly. Right. So, and I don't think that it's an offense thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just, and that's our own, like, it's our own business. Like, so.
Yeah,
It is a
exactly.
choice.
Exactly.
It is the luxury of it.
Yeah, right? So, like, you know, even though it's our business, like, I still, like, unless it applies, like, I can't just repost anything. So I think that's just, like,
I agree.
something that we know collectively. Do I think this person is Bastos? No, because I understand that. But as someone who's been an entrepreneur now for the last several years, including like during COVID and all that fun stuff, the importance of sharing, it can't be understated.
True.
Enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
because like it just goes such a long way, and like people
sure.
share strangers' stuff, but they won't share your stuff. And I've experienced
Yeah.
that. I've experienced, you know, people I thought were close to me not supporting me,
Yeah.
and that is very hurtful. More
For
so in your
sure.
early entrepreneur
Touché.
days,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And with that being said, though, I think this kind of goes back to all the conversations that we've had in the past, and this is no different. Like, where's the communication around what's happening between you and your friend?
Yeah,
Right? Because it's
exactly.
like, I think as this person seems to have some how do I say this? Like they're forthcoming about like it being beyond the post.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my whole thing is like, well, where's the conversation around that? So you're
What
not
is-
Bastos
exactly.
for doing that, but like I think it is Bastos to not have the conversation with your
Yes,
friend,
I
and I'm
agree with
always
that.
going to default to that. I
For
think
sure,
that's
for
just
sure.
kind of what it
Amen.
always will boil down to for me.
I think like that's like every episode. It's did you have the conversation? yet?
Exactly. Yeah.
'Cause
Are you
that's-
communicating?
Yes,
Yeah.
because I think that's what separates the whole feeling of you having to even ask yourself, am I being Bastos?
Yeah.
Because if she did have the conversation, she would feel no need to be like,
I also feel like that's a perfect example. I'm like, we would never find ourselves in that
No, I don't
scenario.
think
I feel like
so.
we would never get that far.
Yeah.
because we put it
Anything
on
like that.
Front Street right away.
Yeah. We've also started our friendship like that too.
That's
I
true.
find.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's Bastos. Like, you still supported, but if there is a deeper underlying thing. And the thing is, like, when you guys don't talk about this kind of stuff, that's when resentment gets built.
Exactly.
And then if you don't talk, it gets worse. And then people assume. So it's better to just kind of clear it all out. And yeah, no, I'm just gonna echo the same sentiment of like, yeah, when we first started this thing, I was already posting everything on my page. Also, again, it's your personal brand, and you build that. And if you just end up sharing everything, then what's the point? There has to be some form of like parameters as well.
Right.
So
It's continuity, all of it.
no, for sure. But yeah, no, I don't think they're Bastos. But yeah, talk to your friend, yo.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. And like, this is the thing, right? Like, I know we were talking about age earlier. For me, like, I know it's difficult, or it seems difficult to make friends later on in life, or at least that seems to be their narrative.
Yeah.
Right? Because like, we didn't expect this
Yeah,
to
this
happen
was
amongst
total
us,
left
right?
field. Great.
I knew it was gonna.
There you go. She planned it.
Yeah, she was the mastermind.
But it was just one of those things where it's just like, I can understand why maybe, because I don't know, like, obviously we're missing something here, but I feel like sometimes people don't have that conversation in this age group because it's like, I'm gonna lose another friend, really, potentially, because I'm gonna speak from personal experience, and like whoever's watching, if this applies to you, like, we probably have already talked about this, because I'm like that. Like, our friendships expire. They do, and I think that's just the people that have people have a really hard time with.
Yeah.
New levels, new devils, and that includes friendships.
For sure.
Not all friendships are meant to come forward with you. That doesn't mean that, it has to be a messy cutoff. It could just be like, hey, like, thank you for the time that we've had together.
Sometimes
but
you
like,
don't even
we
have
need
to say that because it naturally drifts.
Exactly.
Even, right? But if you were
the
to
feeling
have the
around,
convo,
I'm more so
for
just
sure.
trying to describe the
Okay.
feeling around
Got
it,
you,
right?
got
Like,
you.
whether
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a conversation or not, I guess really depends on the scenario between the two friends. But like, for me, there are very few times that I've left a friendship on like bad terms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like a mutual understanding was
Yeah,
there.
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Where we're just
Why this can't work.
Yeah, or
Yes.
like why we don't spend time with each other like we used to, or whatever. You're headed over there, I'm going over there.
Yeah.
We're not, like, you know what I mean?
Still
Like,
love. It could still be
Yeah.
love,
We're
right?
just
It's
not
very much the
things
case,
too, right?
yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
alignment.
Yes.
exactly.
So important.
Exactly. I have so many friends that like I've grown up with, and like they're still friends, but like I
Yeah.
just don't talk to them on the regs. Like, I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like I probably won't
Yeah.
for a while.
That's
It's
real.
not because I don't like them
But-
anymore. It's just
I feel like whenever scenarios like that happen, it's like the love is still there. It's just the capacity of how often you guys interact, if at all.
Love
Yeah.
from a distance is a real thing.
yeah, definitely.
And sometimes it is
Still
better
you
to
can
love
still pray
from
for them.
afar.
Yeah, exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So yeah, you're not Bastos, but talk to your homie.
friend.
Yeah.
Talk to your friend. Always talk to your friend first.
All right. Good chat.
Thank you for writing in.
Thank you. And yes, anyone out there, if you have an Am I Bastos story, please send it to us. You can DM us on Instagram or TikTok. And yeah, we'd love to
Yeah,
share
we
your
appreciate
story,
hearing from you
help you
guys.
out. And we'll be right back after this.
BRB Birdful.
Welcome back. You are on the Tita Salita show with your 3 favorite titas. And we closing out this episode. So guys, do you guys know what the Manila Sound is?
No.
No.
I didn't either. I had to do some research. So the Manila Sound is a musical genre that emerged in the Philippines during the mid-1970s, often considered a precursor to original Filipino music,
Okay.
OPM. I thought that was cool. It blends elements of pop, rock, disco, funk, and light jazz, often with playful or witty lyrics, and was a cultural reflection of the urban life and youthful spirit of Manila at the time. The songs were often sung in Taglish, my specialty,
I was like, I speak that.
and had a fun, light, and danceable vibe. So some of the characteristics of the Manila Sound is, upbeat, catchy melodies, Taglish lyrics, influences from American pop, Motown, funk, and disco.
Oh.
The themes usually are around love, daily life, humor, and it's a distinct, light-hearted groove. So the cultural impact that the Manila Sound has is basically they made it sound cool to sound Pinoy and not just mimic whatever was happening in the West. So it was local, it was humorous, it was heartfelt, and people saw themselves in the music. It is often referred to as the Filipino version of Motown. Thanks to its cultural relevance and infectious energy, it gave Filipinos a soundtrack to their lives. And I thought I had one more note here. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And actually for viewers at home,
I just love that it's called something.
Yeah.
There's Hot Dog and Apo King Society,
And VST and Company.
VST and Company.
Sampaguita.
Oh yes, yep.
Sampaguita.
Sampaguita.
Oh, there you
The
go.
Boyfriends.
Oh, that's what they.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we
Love
give a
that.
clap for these names? Hot dogs.
So some of the songs. Oh,
No, I was going to say there was Hagibis, which were like the equivalent of like the Village People, but Pinoy version.
Oh,
love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like okay, so here's the thing. I know the sound that they're referencing. I struggle with the artist names or titles, but like, what were some of the examples that Andrew was saying?
Hot Dog. And
Hot
what was
Dog.
the song? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, he totally played it too.
It wasn't
Oh, we
Manila.
did. Well,
I would not be the one.
Oh, that was VST, I think.
Yes,
I think that was,
there we go,
was
that one.
VST, sorry.
was it Manila?
Oh my gosh. Manila?
Oh, and there's a newer song actually. Oh no, wait. What's the Raining?
Rain in Manila. See, I know that song.
That's a newer song.
That's
but
a
to
newer
me,
song. That's
That's
a
the
newer
Manila
song.
sound, right? So I thought that was really cool. Also, like, again, I didn't even realize that it was the term for it in OPM. So knowing this, and actually, that was the fact I was trying to remember. This also was created during martial law.
Yeah.
Around that political time. So
Yeah.
this joyous music was something to look forward to or to help, again, during political
Time.
Turmoil.
Turmoil.
I
There
need
we
to
go.
get a little bit more educated on that.
I know. I hear martial law. I know it's related to the what is it?
The Marcos regime. Yeah, around that time, I believe.
Yeah, but I'll be the first to admit I don't know all the details and what
I
that
don't
really
know
means.
much. I definitely
If
need
only we
to-
had a stat queen to potentially tell us.
Okay, well,
Take it away, Camille.
all I know, I don't know much. All I know is that it was like circa 1971 or 1972 to like 1981, I believe.
Okay.
And I know this because this is actually when my family immigrated to Canada.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello, history.
Yeah, they came to Canada in 1977. And when I spoke to my Lolo about it, anytime I spoke to him about it, is because of the Marcos regime and everything that was going on
Yeah.
there. He had a great life. They had a great life there, but, it's something that I'll never understand because I didn't live during that time.
Right.
It was just that time to leave. So I think a lot of our grandparents or parents would have, I guess not so much your parents, maybe, depending on when they
our
came,
parents, uncles,
would have
aunts,
come
yeah.
during that time.
Depending on age, yeah.
And, in my household, we didn't really listen to the Manila Sound. But hearing this, it explains very clearly all the records that I have in my house. So we have a lot of Motown, and we have a lot of like, just like that early sound, those
Yes.
early
That
sounds.
era.
And everyone was listening to it. Like
Yes.
all of my, like my mom and both of her brothers were listening to it.
Yeah.
And it explains my like it influenced my
taste.
music, right? Because I
Yes.
still have those records. I still listen to them. Like it's just really interesting to hear that backstory.
Perfect segue. I was gonna ask that both of you next. Is what did your parents? What did you grow up with? What were your parents listening to? Do you remember this sound or like? Was it something else?
I remember the sound, but I don't remember like lyrics, songs, artists.
I can hum stuff.
Yeah, I think it's
can't
because I
was
can't
too
even
young.
hum it.
Actually,
I
whatever
hear it
I've
in my
hummed
head.
is all I know.
My dad's a big music buff, so it was
Yeah.
a lot of like everything,
Yeah.
like from Everly Brothers.
Ooh, that's a good
Yes,
one.
yeah. Like I remember specifically Everly Brothers. He had this tape, and he would kill that. He
Yeah.
would kill it, and it was something that's a core memory of mine.
Yeah.
God, so many. My
My
dad's such a
parents.
music buff.
My musical
Warwick.
influence. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a big one for my
Motown, disco.
Disco.
Motown
I'm a
and
big Bee
disco.
Gees person.
Oh, my dad, listen.
my God.
Bee Gees, ABBA.
Oh,
ABBA,
that whole
yes.
era.
ABBA.
Come on.
Definitely.
My parents would
influenced.
smash that.
Yeah. My
And
dad
still
actually
do.
told me a story. He remembers going to see Jackson 5. They came to the Philippines.
Stop.
And he's like, yeah, I had my bell bottoms and my platforms. And yeah, he remembers like walking to the
That's
venue. Yeah.
so cool.
I thought that was so cool. But I can 100% say that my parents' musical taste has influenced mine.
100%.
sure.
Yeah.
They're they have such a large range of music, even just being in the car with them.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's a lot of Filipinos from that era. I think because our parents are all around the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was just so much. Like there's some rock albums that we have. You know, I'm a big Tears for Fears fan. For anyone who knows Tears for Fears, it's like my go-to for karaoke. Like to like Caribbean Queen, Billy Ocean. Like you know what I mean? And obviously Michael Jackson, like have Off the Wall in my house. Like it's just oh man, like
Classic.
just such a magical time for music, I think. The
For sure.
Beatles, like
Yes.
come on.
Yes, but I do love learning about OPM and now knowing the history and where it was influenced from, but then making it our own in the Philippines. I think that's really cool.
Shout out
Absolutely.
the Philippines.
Yeah. And just to kind of paint a picture, I guess, of what was happening during martial law, I do have some stats for you guys.
Surprise.
Please.
Okay. So first
Just
and
had
foremost, it's important to note that a lot of things were being heavily censored during the time. So there was anyone who was in opposition,
Yeah.
essentially, of the government, I guess similar to what we were seeing under Duterte,
Yeah.
were essentially silenced. They disappeared. We don't know what happened.
Yikes.
And back then, you know, there was a lot less press. We were a lot less accessible to each other.
Less
so
technology or ways of communicating. Yeah.
a lot of human rights violations, to give you some numbers. So Amnesty International reported that there were over 70,000 people arrested, over 34,000 people tortured, and over over 3,200 that were killed, or about
Jeez.
that much that were killed.
Damn.
And there was a lot of corruption under the Marcos regime, which funneled a lot of wealth to the allies, their allies and families. You know, there's a lot of, I guess, infrastructure, a lot of projects that were created during that time that we can probably still see when we go to the Philippines, because they were investing a lot of their money into that and funneling it into like kickbacks. The biggest project that was built, from what I understand, was the cultural center of the Philippines.
Oh.
But it came with overpricing. And during that time, surprise, surprise, there was an economic decline, right? So the Philippines did see some stability and infrastructure growth initially, but because of the foreign debt ballooning, poverty deepened. And by the 1980s, the economy crashed.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
highlighting on the positive, the resiliency of Filipinos in general.
Singing through that.
Even through hard times, and you know Filipinos love to sing. So, and speaking of singing, karaoke, what is everyone's go-to song?
Oh my God, I have so many.
I have so many.
I
Right
don't know.
now,
Yeah.
there's two.
Okay, let's go.
The first one is Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
That the crowd can, jump in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the second one is Invisible Man by 98 Degrees.
Oh.
She love a 98
I'm gonna have
degrees,
to go
y'all.
back. I'm gonna have to tap back into my 98 degrees bag.
I think we should take some in
I
today.
wonder what are some Filipino songs that that are infamous for karaoke?
Oh, who would know this?
Funny you should ask.
Stage left.
Right? Collective
Run
Hustle
it.
actually came out with an
Oh,
article.
shout out Collective Hustle.
Yeah.
Love their page, love their content.
I
Came out
love
with
their page so much.
A little article here that says that karaoke machine logs have listed the top 10 songs that are dominating the Filipino karaoke nights. So I'm going to start at the bottom.
Let's close this out. Let's hear this list.
Number 10, Firework, Katy Perry. Number 9, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
That one I can see. I wish I could
Right?
sing that.
Me
Oh,
too.
that's a hard one. That's a
Number
hard one.
7, No Scrubs, TLC.
That's a fun one. I like that one.
Okay.
Number
okay,
6,
okay.
I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston.
Ooh, only top tier singers
Only
can
top
sing
tier.
that one.
Number 5
try.
is
try.
Love by Keisha Cole.
Oh,
that's a
yes.
big
That one
one.
surprised me.
Love that.
I'm surprised, but very current.
yeah,
like
very
it's
current.
resurfaced
Very
for these Gen Z kids, like y'all know.
I know, right? 4, If I Ain't Got You, Alicia Keys.
Ooh, oh, that's a good one.
that's a good
That
one.
is a good one.
Number 3 is My Crowd Pleaser, I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys.
Naturally, yes.
Number 2,
trying to
Don't
go in
Stop
August.
Believin' by Journey.
Oh, that's a good one. And
that is
the lead singer is Filipino.
Is Filipino.
Yeah.
And the number 1 song, Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Plus line dancing. Come on, what more do you want? Friday night.
So good.
So good. So good. You know what was good this episode. So thank you for joining us.
Yes.
You know where to find us next week. And until then, ingat.
Ingat.
Yeah.
with me.